How to become a successful entrepreneur by building a vision of success. In this interview style episode, Noelle Randall is meeting with 𝗡𝗏 Woods, a life coach and an absolute game changer. 𝗡𝗏 has been through some amazing things that were really hard and some terrible struggles that he is going to tell us about, but he has been able to overcome those and create a great business for himself, help other people create businesses for themselves, and really open up a world of opportunity that most people do not even know exists. I'm going to share with you exactly how to become an entrepreneur, very successful one, by building your vision of success. Let's go.
Noelle. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, no, you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited to have you here, 𝗡𝗏 Woods, life coach, master of the world. You are someone that is positive, that is influencing people in an awesome way. And you actually have a profession that most people do not think is as important as it is, being a life coach. And we're going to really get into it today. No fluff. We're just going to get right into it. So tell me exactly how a person that is, facing all of these obstacles, facing all of these struggles, doesn't really believe in themselves or have very much money. How do they create a vision of success for themselves, 𝗡𝗏?
It's almost contrary to everything we've been taught, right? Why does so many people in the world not have what they want and such a small percentage do? And I think it's something that we've forgotten. It's not something that we have to do, but it's something we've forgotten. When you're a kid, like you don't have the fear and the doubt, like, you have the lava on the ground, right? You know how to use your imagination, the tents, the playing house, things like that.
Yeah.
And so it's this inside process that begins. It's not the outside stuff. Because I can tell you what, you can spend your whole life doing, you burn yourself out. You'll get burnt out pretty quick. You can only do that for so long.
Yeah, so you've worked with a lot of people. You've worked with a lot of people that have struggled. You and I have struggled. So like I said, let's really get into it. Let's talk to tell people like the truth of it. Where does one start when you're just down and you've been through some struggles and you can share that? How do you really start creating that vision for yourself to really change that outlook of who you are to something better?
I'm always a component of always self-leading first, right? So I always put myself out there with vulnerability, so it gives other people the permission to be vulnerable also. So this process has been 4 years in the making, but it started with almost divorce, growing up, my parents being divorced, my sister being raped, being homeless, drugs and alcohol, jail, and then finally suicide. And so life had always been trying to get my attention, right? Always does.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention. I was stubborn. And what happened in this particular day 4 years ago, something opened up inside of me. This sounds cliche. It sounds like one of those Hallmark cards or something, but a switch turned on inside of me.
Yeah.
And the whole world opened up. And what I realized in that one moment is that the whole world is inside of me. It's not on the outside, it's on the inside. And that changed. That one thing in itself changed everything.
Talk to us about that moment. Just go vulnerable. Because it's true, the real way that you connect to people and the way that people connect to Noelle, for example, I have no problem sharing. I used to live in my parents' basement. I was bankrupt. I was multiple foreclosures, bankruptcy. I was just a disaster. And sharing that vulnerability is one of the reasons why I think people like me and why I'm easy to talk to. So go ahead and give us your story, because it is so powerful, 𝗡𝗏.
If we kind of give the backstory from, I would say, my awakening, me coming to myself. I was about ready to get divorced. My finances were in ruin. I made decent money in my job for whatever that means. But at the end of the day, I didn't like myself. And that was the key factor, that I was doing everything for everybody else, that I didn't leave nothing for myself. So that meant checking out. I just wanted to feel good, right? That's the prime directive for everything we do, I believe, all day long, is we're looking for self-love and validation. So we're looking to feel good about ourselves. And so this particular day, all the stuff from my past, all the thoughts and feelings from yesterday that I had planted. And this was hard for me to acknowledge at first, that the life I was living, I chose it 100%.
Yeah.
But once I did that, I got my power back.
Yeah.
All those things, right? The divorces, my sister's rape, seeing that happen from the outside in, all these things surfaced on this one particular day because they had no choice but to be what they were. And so it came in the form for me as suicide, like, oh, you're not good enough. That voice, right? You have all the time. that is always there for everybody. But when we listen to it, we build a relationship with it, but it's not truth. And so my family left, and I decided I'm just going to create a day for myself. And I didn't plan on doing this. It's just something that came out because it had to. My family left. I was left home by myself. And I remember when the door shut, and I felt this dark presence come in the room when they shut the door. And I didn't think nothing of it, right? Life was still trying to get my attention. I still wasn't paying attention. And I remember being in my room. So this was over about an 8-hour period. And so if we kind of just go to the back end of this, I remember laying in the bed and motionless and actually seeing myself from the inside. I was having this inside experience. And it felt like the movie where the devil's on the one shoulder and you have God on the other. And that voice kept saying, you're not worth it. You hurt a lot of people. You made a lot of mistakes. Maybe you're better off not being here, right? And it was just a whisper. It wasn't loud. It was just so subtle. And then this other voice said, everything's going to be okay. And then I was given the question, do you want to live or do you want to die? And I chose to live. And then that's when the switch turned on. I felt my heart for the first time. My eyes began, even to this day, I see things different. I learned how to use my imagination. And that turned everything around. So like, how do you even apply this stuff is what was the next step after that.
So this is powerful. And I'm loving every minute. And I'm like hanging on to every word that you're saying, really, because I feel like I have, I think everyone has a story, where we felt defeated or we felt like giving up or we felt like, the turning point before we became the thing that we were supposed to be. So let's keep kind of going, keep sharing. Please tell us how you turned that around. You were feeling sad and, you were thinking of ending it all. And then the switch happened and you turned it around. And so tell us what life is like now and some of that process and journey. Help us through that.
For me, it's been working itself backwards, right? This process, I'm sure that you know about, is non-negotiable.
Right.
There is no skip in the process. You skip the process, you don't get to the destination.
That's right.
And so I was given this vision, Noelle, and I lost all concept of time. I didn't know what was up or down, left or right. I don't know how long this thing that was given to me, how long that even took place. It could have been 45 minutes or 2 minutes. I have no idea. But my whole life was shown to me. And in that, it showed my marriage being saved. It showed me quitting my job. Nothing wrong with the job, but now I understood potential.
Yeah. And that is a powerful point. We're going to come back to that. The potential, if you quit your job, of what else is there for you. Not that the job is bad, but what is that potential that we may be missing out? Okay, keep going.
So my marriage got saved, but then I was shown this financial abundance. And I never felt or even seen anything like that. Show my home being paid off. I had 15 years left on my mortgage. So coming out of this was my truth now. When I wake up every day, I woke up. So the first day after that, I woke up and was happy for no reason for the first time ever as an adult. Right. I was just happy. I didn't need any external validation for that, right? So
there's no conditions, right? You're happy for no reason. There's no condition that's making you happy. You have to have unconditional happiness. Oh, I love it. Keep going.
It's been one of these things now where I've become comfortable in my own skin without outside validation. Right. I wake up and there's that part of me that I saw from that experience with my suicide. And there it is, myself waiting for me every morning. And there's the old path. And I didn't realize the choice. There's a choice. The blessing is waking up. That's the blessing. Everything else is extra. So my job when I wake up is to face myself, to not ignore my pain. My purpose is in my pain. It brings me, because it brings awareness, right? Like when you go through something very tough, you become heightened. Your senses become heightened. So you gain awareness. So it brings you back to yourself.
I love it.
Very important to get to there, but you have to know where there is, right?
Right. Oh my gosh. So you're saying like so many different powerful things, 𝗏𝐿, and I can see why you're an amazing life coach. And it's so funny because so many people mock life coaches and think that it's not something that is valuable. And I have come to learn, and I used to be very skeptical. I'm not going to lie. I used to be skeptical of what a life coach is. And I am a full, true believer today. And some of the processes that really help you with some of these, turning your pain into purpose. So talk about some of the processes that you've learned and that you teach that helps one turn that pain into purpose and really transforms you, to that vision of success that we're all looking for.
I believe it's and these faculties that we have. And I always like to choose them as these superpowers we have.
Yes.
And I've always used them to destroy and hurt myself and other people.
Oof.
But I began to learn this voice, right? What happens when your mouth opens? What really happens when your mouth opens? Your imagination, right? If you're constantly creating the thing you want or you don't want. Now, people could call it whatever they want, but we could talk about free will. But you don't have a choice in this. And you talk about a coach. A coach is a valuable, someone who takes a valuable person from where they are. They go with them from where they are to where they need to go. And I always like the quote, faster alone, further together.
Ooh.
And so I find this, how do you help anybody else as you help yourself first?
Right.
You have to save you. I have to save Troy before I can save anybody else. And sometimes that means there's going to be things called loss. I stop calling things good and bad because that places limits on myself. I stop calling things good and bad because there is not bad in me. It's just me acknowledging the different parts of myself. And so I choose to say winning and learning. If I didn't win from it, then it's got a nugget for me and I have to be willing to face myself, right? That could be hard conversations. That can mean doing the thing that you don't want to do, but you know you need to do it.
Yeah.
And showing up and loving yourself every single day.
Whoa, this is an amazing point that LeTroy Woods brought up, and I want to really bring this home. LeTroy teaches some top tips to change your mindset and to become the person that you are trying to become. And one of LeTroy's top tips is to learn to use your words for power in your life. The word business means energetic action. The words inspire means to breathe life into. And so what LeTroy teaches is that those words are powerful. And as you start to become and live those words, those are the things that you will start to see in your life. Your words have power. Your business has power, but it needs to be inspired so that you're breathing life into it, so that you're breathing purpose into it, and that you are living in your purpose. Being a person that was sad, depressed, even suicidal has taught LeTroy that he had to find purpose in what he was doing. He had no reason to live, essentially, and he felt sad and depressed and that he had no purpose. But it was once he kind of started to find his own purpose and what he was put here for that he was able to change his life. Okay, now back to this episode. We said one of the processes that I absolutely love that you said was waking up in the morning, obviously, with this unconditional happiness. So for me, this was a process. Tell people some of the tools, techniques, or strategies you could do to kind of get yourself into a more gratitude-like state when waking up in the morning, because it does take practice, would you say?
I would. And the thing that's very humorous and very humbling about it is what worked yesterday might not work today, but you still got to show up and still develop that routine with yourself. So when that door opened up inside of me, it allowed stuff to come in and out, and my judgment and criticisms went out the door with it.
Ooh, oh my gosh. Wait. Oh my gosh. I have to stop you there because this is like gold. And this is what Noel really had to do. This was when I really feel like I took myself from 6 figures to 7, 8 figures. You know what I mean? When I really just broke through was the judgments that I had of other people were really just judgments I had of myself. And I realized how hard I was on myself and how hard I judged myself. And that's kind of, I think, what you were doing, LeTroy, when we start to have these dark thoughts. What are we doing? We're judging ourselves in a very negative way. So let's talk through how we get past that, because some of us, we like, oh, they're not doing nothing. They're not doing this. And really, we're just talking about our own selves. So let's talk through that, because this is super powerful and this is great conversation.
So I've been a very avid reader of books. So coming out of that experience, I read about 300 books my first year.
Yeah.
There's been this quote that's been sitting with me, and it's by Michael Gervais. And he said the worst thing you could do for your loved ones is to try to reduce their pain.
Ooh.
And
okay.
Then it could go along the lines of also, we marry our unfinished business.
Ooh. That's a good one. Oh my gosh, those are powerful quotes. We marry our unfinished business. Good, I love it. Keep going.
But pain is necessary. So we're always taught that pain is bad. So when I opened that door, Noel, these tools, I began to learn about these faculties. One of them was meditation. That has been a game changer. I meditated before we got into this conversation to be able to experience yourself from the inside, right? Closing your eyes so you can get rid of all the distractions around you. Now it's just you with you, but it's not you getting in the way, right? This effortless process of you seeing and observing yourself from the inside. How is you supposed to get to know who you are if you're doing external things? And so that's been a game changer. I've faithfully practiced my meditations for the past 4 years. Of all the things, if I had to choose one, that would be the one right there.
Okay. I love it. Thank you. I love it. And you said a great answer. And it's funny, I almost would have a hard time choosing between, the meditation and the affirmations. For me, we could talk about affirmations. I'll let you, because I know that's a part of it as well. And maybe you talk to people about their affirmations, but that was one of the things that I needed to build my confidence. I had to change how I talk to myself so that I could change how I talk to other people. I would, like I said, I judged other people harshly because I judged myself harshly. And I had to be kinder to myself so I could be kinder to other people. And that was the affirmations for me. So let's talk about some more of these tools and tips and tricks, because you're spilling like diamond nuggets here.
So we'll go to affirmations since you brought that up. So I call them my affirmative declarations. They're the truth.
Yeah.
Now, it's not, I say in these affirmations as if they something that might happen or I hope happen. When I say these affirmations, they're saying something that's already true. Correct. So all I doing is it's already a memory, something that's already there. So when that vision was given to me, Noelle, I wrote them all down in my book.
Yeah.
And my affirmation book, my affirmation declarations. Ooh. And I read them to myself every day. And guess what happened? 10 months, well, about 8 months to the day of me saying my home was going to be paid off, I still had 15 years left on my mortgage. Guess what happened? Yeah. The answer showed itself. It was there the whole time. Everything we're looking for is already here, right in front of us. You just don't realize it. You need to open your awareness. Right. You can't see. It's like looking through the peephole of a door.
And it was what's crazy is I know that someone is going to be listening to this, and so unfortunately they're not going to get it, because I didn't get it in the beginning. But that is what the meditation does. It does change how you view the world, and you get this new awareness, and it's so hard. And I hopefully you listening to this, you hear me and hear Noelle and hear LeTroy and listen to us when we tell you meditation changes how you see the world. Getting connected with yourself and your inner work really does change how you start to see the world and opens up opportunities. Like you said, you paid off a 15-year mortgage. Most people would never think that's possible, or they think that you're not telling the truth. And we know that it is.
It sounds just very cliche, and how the answers are always there. Showing up with yourself. And this process is very vulnerable. You're humbled daily sometimes through this process. The very word humble means back to the earth, back to the soil. And you can't almost feel like you can't take things personal going down this journey, because it's you with you is all it is, right? So say you're having that conversation with your spouse and it may seem like they're yelling. Now that's just one interpretation, right? And if I step back, so the meditations, which is also synonymous with prayer, some people might get rubbed wrong by that word, right? But this is synonymous with the very word prayer as well, which most of us pray out of lack, scarcity, and fear. And that's why it doesn't work. And so just showing up in this place, these words, these vibrations, right? These natural laws that we can't ignore. It's like, if you don't believe in gravity, gravity is going to believe in you. If you jump off something that's too tall, right? So there's certain things that we've forgotten over time. With more technology, just more things going on around us, there's just more things to forget who we are. And so for me, it's been affirmations, meditations, gratitude. So getting my heart in the right place. Getting my mind in the right place. So that I could see the opportunity to like bring service at the highest level.
So true. Oh my gosh. LeTroy Woods, you have shared so many amazing things with us. So tell people how they can reach out to you, how they can connect with you, how we can learn more, how what more, how can we access and connect with you? Because this is amazing and you are amazing.
You can reach me at my broadcast. It's called Fed by Ravens, almost the biblical sense on how he was fed while he was in prison from the ravens. That's my network. The name of the broadcast is called The Way to the Top. So that premise is about the top is an illusion. It's false. But all the magic happens inside. You have to go inward to get upward, because we're only at the top of the mountain for a few minutes. You take a few pictures, some selfies, you enjoy it, but you got to come back down to reality. That's right. So all the magic is in the process. And we create a space for people to have real conversations because nobody feels safe, right? Most people don't feel safe in their homes. They don't feel safe at work. Feel safe with the people they say that love them, to have conversations like we're having today. Yeah. Also reach me at my Facebook group, which is called Internal Awakening.
Okay.
You have to go inside. All of life is subjective 100% of the time. And I always believe all of life is conspiring in my favor 100% of the time. So it's that there again, creating another space for people to have conversations who are suffering, right? Because suffering is a choice, I believe. We choose to suffer. But there's a lot of value in this thing we call suffering and pain. It shows you your purpose again. And it builds this vision of success when you begin to go back inside of you. Those are my two main links while I'm building my Facebook page, but and my website, just all these things that are happening. And this isn't enough time to really dive into this kind of conversation, but those are the two main places to reach me.
Okay, that is awesome. Like I said, we're going to follow you, and we're going to get you on Facebook and get in your group. This is an amazing conversation. I would love to take this further. Thank you so much, LeeTroy Woods, life coach, entrepreneur, and just a world changer. Well, that was an amazing episode with LeeTroy Woods. And as a gift, I want to give you my new book, Real Estate Millionaire Secrets, absolutely free. Go to noellsfreebook.com. That's Noelle, Noelle with an S, noellsfreebook.com, and get my new book, Real Estate Millionaire Secrets, absolutely free. I have poured my heart into this book, and I'm sharing my true and real story of how I went from my parents' basement to a multi-millionaire in real estate. I share with you exactly how I did it. I give you tools, resources, checklists, and everything that you would need. And again, it is absolutely free. You just cover the shipping and the handling. I just want to make sure that you have all of the resources, all of the tools, and all of the knowledge that you need to be successful. This is Noelle. To your success.